check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
So you know what sounds right, Sean?
What?
None of the officiating seemed to be right. That's what's
And never does.
Everybody out there complaining about officiating on the weekend, except for the Celtics coach, who said that's not the kind of team we want to be. So he benched his players in preseason, of course, complaining about the referees.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, too, when you change the rules every year, that's what you get.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do necessarily with the rule changes. I know they want points, more points, and more points. But some of this stuff is ridiculous. But anyway, I mean, what am I to say?
I will say the taunting, these players got to be smarter than some of what they're doing. I mean, standing over somebody and stepping on them and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you're going to get a penalty.
And swinging?
And you deserve a penalty. You might have not been penalized years past, but tackle.
But you're going to do it's going to happen this year, right?
Tackle.
Go Braves, says Drew. They don't play today, though, right? The Braves?
No, they play tomorrow.
I'm a little bit old, and I was thinking, oh, did I miss something? It's not hard to do, let me tell you that, because as an old guy. But one thing I did last night, Sean, we texted about this a little bit. I look back. I'm going to have something new with totals going forward, and I found something that in the totals would have eliminated, it would have turned 3 losses into wins, maybe 4, and it would not have turned a single win into a loss so far this year. So we'll talk about that when it applies. Probably not tonight, though, but we'll still talk about what it might be. But I don't think that's going to be the case today because I don't really have a play on the total in the game between the Bills and the Titans. So that's where we're going to get started with the NFL, the No Fun League, as they used to call it. Yeah. Sean wants it to be the No Fun League. Just play, hand the ball to the ref, go back to the huddle. No emotion. Don't do anything.
No, I'm okay with the emotion. I think it would be boring without that, but
what are those little vanilla wafers called? Nilla cookies, right?
Sugar wafers.
No, those little tiny ones. They're like the size. They're almost like cereal substitutes.
Nilla wafers, I guess.
Yeah, that's what Sean wants. They're like the little round, tasteless football games. Just play, toss it in. Could be cereal, could be milk, it could be dog food. It doesn't matter.
No, I'm okay with the celebrations. I'm not okay. It's right like when you play playground football. Everybody looks for that big hit. Like you're playing football and you're trying not to get hurt. Like, let's just play the game.
Will Josh Allen jump over somebody is at minus 115? Yeah, I would say probably. If he saw that line, he'll probably jump. What's the line for jumping over 2?
Where does Drew find this line? I've never seen a bet.
I had a hard time finding a couple lines I was looking for today because I don't usually do this, but I spend a lot of time like digging through numbers and stuff like that to kind of try to find trends. So if something's not working, I can hop on something that is working, and hopefully that's the case today. But what's not working is Sean is not working right now. He's disappeared for some reason. So let's go ahead and talk about the game tonight. I expect I'll see Sean back in a minute. So when he comes back, we'll add onto the stream again. But the first game on the slate tonight is the Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans. The Bills are giving 6 points on the road in Tennessee. It looks like Sean might return. There he is. Sean's back.
I think the NFL just kicked me out.
Yeah, well, they're like, you're no fun. Right? Boring.
Yeah.
So Sean got the boot. So let me kick you from the studio from the other one so it's not there. Okay, I just kicked Sean out. So now we have the other Sean in. So in any case, the Bills are laying 6 on the road to Tennessee. Sean, what do you think? Everybody was saying how much better the show got, the last 30 seconds.
Probably. I'm going to take Buffalo giving up the 6. I think Buffalo should.
But why?
Why? Buffalo's
they're the better team, but they're on the road. Their weakness is Tennessee's strength.
Yeah, but Tennessee's defense isn't going to be able to stop Josh Allen and Buffalo. So I think Buffalo's going to put up as many points as they really want to here. And I don't think Tennessee's going to score all that many. I know they know Buffalo knows what Tennessee's going to do here. You got to
But wait.
I know everybody.
Wait. Buffalo knows. Let me tell you something. There's going to be however many million fans watching. Every one of them knows.
Yeah, I know
what Tennessee wants to do.
Here's the other
Here's
issue.
Henry. Here's the ball. Watch out. Here comes the steamroller.
Here's the other issue for Tennessee. Once they start punting and stuff, if they're not stopping Buffalo, that's going to be a problem when they're down 2 touchdowns. So
I don't think that's ever stopped them before, though.
No, they usually remain patient with it, but
yeah, they run because they know eventually you're going to get tired of those knees hitting you in your chin strap.
Yeah, when Buffalo only having to win this game by a touchdown and I win the bet, I will take it.
All right, so you can get that from -110. I'm off that game. I remember in high school, there was this kid named Mickey where I went to high school. He was a year older than I was and playing football, and he had thighs like, I swear, like my waistline. And he's the only guy in practice I hated to tackle because it was like you were in a fight when you grabbed him. It's just big ass legs, boom, boom, boom. And it was like getting punched every single time. So Mickey's watching. Mickey, you were the only guy in the whole planet that I ever played football against that I didn't like to tackle. Couldn't catch Rocket Ismail. He played up in Wilkes-Barre, but that was kind of fun guarding him. Funny, quick story. So we were playing in a scrimmage, and my friend Robert is the fastest football player on our team. And Robert said, like, he was super fast. And he probably could have been an NFL player, but he had a little bit of fragility to him. Things would break all the time. But in any case, Robert was like he set like the state record for like the 220-meter dash, whatever. It was really fast. So first play, we're on defense. I'm cornerback. Robert's cornerback on the other side. And I look over, and Robert's giving him, because we had heard about this kid, Robert's giving him like a 15, 20-yard cushion. And I'm like, damn. Robert's giving him a 20-yard cushion. So we get back to the huddle. I'm like, Robert, how fast is he? He's like, man, he's fast. And I'm like, shit, if Robert thinks he's fast, holy hell. Now, Robert and I grew up as little kids together. And anyway, we would always run, and he was always a step or two faster than I was throughout life. And then she got a little older and maybe moved to a step and a half, 2.5 steps. But so Rocket comes over to my side the next time. I was as deep as the free safety. I was like, oh, this dude's going to run right behind me. But anyway, that's
before we move on from the football game too, I did put a same game parlay together. A lot of people like doing this. Mm-hmm. Take Buffalo, just money line, Josh Allen over 31.5 yards rushing, Josh Allen to score a touchdown. That has to be a rushing touchdown or catching touchdown. I think he runs for 1 tonight, and under 23.5 for Tennessee total.
Ooh, so let's talk a little bit about some of these things. Well, we didn't talk about the total in the game yet, Sean. The total in the game is, I'm not taking Tennessee, or Buffalo. I think the line is exactly right. I think Tennessee, Buffalo wins between right around 7 points. But anyway, not enough for me to bet. The over is 53. I have the game going at about 58. That's still not high enough for me to jump in on this game, Sean. But you have Tennessee going under what?
23.5. That's just in the same game parlay. Yep.
Yes, I have him scoring 26 points. So that would be a little bit worrisome to me. And I have the Bills coming in at 32. So you can see I have it right on 6 points. So that's 58. Game going over. I'm not going to play the over either. What I am going to do, however, is it looks to me like, based upon my projections for total offense, I think Josh Allen throws for like over 300 yards. I can see I have Tannehill for somewhere around 240. But overall, I have Buffalo giving up well over 150 yards on the ground to Tennessee. If they give up over 150 yards, I actually have them coming in about 175. If they do that, there's no way on the planet Derrick Henry doesn't come in for 94.5 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and take Derrick Henry over 94.5, Sean, for minus $1.15. To me, that is the play of the night. I could be wrong because it's the first time I'm doing these sorts of things, and I think Drew has him for going over 12.5 yards receiving. That's just one screen pass. So, I think that's a possibility. Yeah,
they're both possibilities. My concern about the rushing would be they get down, but I know they're gonna.
I'm telling you, they're gonna try to control the game. They're gonna run the ball. They're not gonna get as down as you think they are. They're home. Things never play out exactly the way we think.
No.
And really, if you think about it, the way Derrick Henry runs, all he really needs is one 60-yard run, and then the 95 is in the bank.
Yep.
So I'm just looking forward to see him early on, some little cornerback in his way, and he go like, boom, like I just did to you.
Yeah, I will say usually his big run comes third, fourth quarter when he wears down the defense. So it's just a matter of the flow of the game. If if Buffalo gets up 3 touchdowns, that's a problem.
You're not going to get up 3 touchdowns. Yeah. Recency bias, Sean. You are a major sufferer of recency bias.
No, I just don't think Tennessee.
I think that Bayer makes medicine for that, but it probably has a lot of side effects. All right, so in the baseball tonight, Houston travels to Boston. You have Urquidy versus Rodriguez, and right now both teams are minus lines, and you have Boston being the favorite. Looks like to me. So, what do you like in this spot, Sean?
I like Houston. I'm going to take Houston. Rodriguez has struggled against the Astros this year, going 1-3 with an 8.53 ERA and 6 starts.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's had success against Boston this year so far. I think Houston wins here. They got the better pitching matchup, and they've had success against Boston.
Well, except for the last game when they gave up 2 grand slams and a grand slam in back-to-back innings. I have the Houston team. Boston has a little bit of an advantage on the road in terms of power ranking and in terms of the run score differential at home. I have pitching advantage. I think Boston actually wins this game, Sean, although the simulator puts it slightly in favor of Houston. So the way this game bounces out for me, there's no way I can play either side of this spot, Sean.
Well, and
none on the planet.
Houston starter Urquidy did start once against Boston this year, 6 innings and only gave up 1 run. So, both have had – Rodriguez hasn't had success against Houston, at least in the one start Urquidy did. So, I just think the numbers point to Houston here.
All right, well, it could well be. Well, the numbers don't point to Houston. The numbers actually point towards Boston. But your opinion points to
6 starts for Rodriguez, and he has an ERA over 8 against Houston this year.
How many were all the games in Houston? Were they all in Boston?
I don't know.
And he started against them 6 times this year. That seems kind of far fetched to me. How many times did Boston play the Astros? Did he start in every game?
Well, they would have played.
Well, they're in different divisions. There's no way that he started against them 6 times this year.
That's what I have. Well,
maybe I don't know. Maybe 6 innings pitched. I don't know. Anyway, that's it could be. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's a lot of times for a guy to pitch against a out of conference, out of division rival.
Rodriguez is starting to pitch a little bit better, but he has not been good all year. So I would not trust Boston with him pitching.
No. All right, let's talk now. NHL, my favorite sport, Sean. Hold on. Before we do that, let me back up a little bit here. I forgot. Because as I said, I'm getting old, Sean. And part of getting old means that you get crabby. Stuff hurts when it's not supposed to hurt, and you forget stuff. So I'm forgetting stuff. The Bills and the Titans. So the money. Let's talk about the money. The money's following you, Sean. 80% of the money is on the Bills. A similar amount of people are betting them ticket-wise. And you're following the masses today, Sean. Everybody's on the. Well, let's see. I have the wrong number here. So everybody is. Looks like most of the people are on the Astros. Well, yes, about 60 cents on the dollar being bet on the Astros, whereas the tickets are 50-50. So it looks to me like most folks think like you tonight, Sean. So Las Vegas is hoping that you're wrong.
Yeah, and that's probably not a good thing because Vegas is going to get their money back. Apparently, they had a horrible day yesterday with all the favorites pretty much winning. They're not make up for it soon here, and things will switch. So hopefully it's not tonight. Hopefully
not for your sake and anybody else's sake that's following you. New York Rangers in Toronto. Toronto probably wins this game, Sean. No value in taking New York either team based upon the current lines.
Yeah, I agree.
Seattle and Philadelphia. Seattle's played the most games in the league, and Philadelphia, I think, is amongst the least in the league. This line opened up minus 160 in favor of the Flyers. They flopped on their opening night, and now the Kraken are ready to get cracking in your city in Philadelphia. And I think the Flyers win this game, Sean. They're not a bad team.
Yeah, I would almost. I'd lean Seattle here, but
why?
I'm not taking any.
Tired legs versus fresh legs.
Well, I don't know how tired they are yet. I know they have a game tomorrow again. Tomorrow. I would bet against them.
I think Philadelphia is going to come out flying. They're disappointed that they won their home opener. They're supposed to be a playoff contending team. They have some offensive punch. I think they smoke the Seattle Kraken today. I don't know if they're going to beat them by 2 goals or not, but I think they'll at least beat them by 1. But this is under my minus 165 threshold, like 160 threshold, like baseball. I know the line's moving in favor of the Kraken, but I'm going to take the Flyers here. I think the line moving against the Kraken is the wrong move. I'm going to take the Flyers at minus 135, Sean. And as far as the public is concerned, the Flyers are taking in nearly 80% of the money. Well, actually over 90% of the money.
Wow.
So I'm all over to Philadelphia.
That's
Flyers
weird. They're taking
tonight.
All that money, but the line's coming down.
Yeah, suckers bet, I guess, right? I'm the square sucker play. You know, I figure here's what I figure, Sean. And I don't know if this is accurate or not. I'd love to talk to somebody in a book one day. But I feel like Vegas gives you one play a night, right? Where they know the line is wrong. It's like the one game a night where the sharp people catch up on that line being wrong. I'm hoping that tonight is the Philadelphia Flyers is that line.
Yeah, possibly. I just know Flyers the last couple of years they've been very streaky, so they didn't look too good. First game they could be on the losing streak.
But they tend to be better at home. All hockey teams tend to be better at home. And at home so far this year have just been destroying everybody. So it's been a very home dominant. So like you said, about Vegas and NFL yesterday, that it's going to flip at some time when the NHL home teams aren't as dominant as they've been. But if you look across the games, home team I think has won like 80% so far to start the year. It's just off the charts. Anaheim and Calgary, the home team there is minus 200. Sean, no value in minus 200 for me.
No, and I'm not taking Anaheim neither. So,
yeah, and you should probably run away from my hockey picks because so far I don't think I've got one right. St. Louis, I know I think I did. I got one right. Colorado beating the Blackhawks by more than 1.5 goals. St. Louis at Arizona, Sean. I said at the beginning of the year, I think that's the one thing that the second thing I've gotten right on hockey so far to start this year, and that is Arizona might well be the worst team in all the NHL.
Yeah, and St. Louis probably wins this game again, but I don't think it's in your threshold there.
Well, they just beat Colorado in Colorado. So if they can beat Colorado in Colorado, why can't they beat? I mean, I'm just using Sean logic here. Why can't they beat Arizona in Arizona?
They should be able to, but you're not going to get any value for it unless you're going to give up a goal and a half.
I guess I'm going to give up a goal and a half, Sean. So at minus 1.5, Sean, let me go ahead and put that in there. Point spreads real quick, since it's the last thing on the menu today. The point spread for minus 1.5 for the St. Louis Blues in the desert is, wow, these other lines are coming down. It's plus 150, Sean. So I'm going to take St. Louis. I'm going to say that they beat, much like they beat the Avalanche. They'll beat, and you know what sucked about that Avalanche game? We were watching that game, Sean, kind of online together. And I had taken Colorado in my own personal account in a 5-team parlay. The other 4 teams won easily, but Colorado got down. And I was talking about how earlier in the day, the day before, how Detroit was up by 3 goals a couple of times and blew it for me at plus 188. I said, how this never works the other way around. I'm never down 3 and come back to win. And then you see Colorado 4-2, Colorado 4-3. And I'm like, wait a minute, Sean, maybe I'm going to get one on the backside. Then it says St. Louis 4, Colorado 3, St. Louis 4, Colorado 4. And I was like, whoa, I can't believe it. I got one. Review, goal disallowed. I don't get them. So hopefully tonight I'm not going to be subject to a goal review that kills my 2-goal win.
Yeah, definitely.
So just wrap them up, Sean. What you got tonight?
I have Buffalo giving up 6. I have Houston money line, and then I had a same game parlay too with Buffalo just winning. Josh Allen over 31.5 rushing yards.
Are you going to make that official play? Your same game parlay? I mean, are you nuts?
Well,
you might as well put that in the L column.
I'm not. I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay, well I'm talking about official plays.
Okay, well then I got Buffalo giving up 6, and I got Houston
tonight. All right. And I have the Derrick Henry going over 94.5 yards. And I think I have the Flyers.
Yep.
Which means you should take the Kraken. And I have the St. Louis Blues giving up a goal and a half, which means that you should probably bet that they'll win by 1. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's me, right?
Yeah, and to clarify, I think Rodriguez, it is career against Houston. They didn't specify.
Well, I would say he didn't pitch 6 times in 1 year. I think that didn't make no sense,
it didn't
Sean.
specify there, but I think it's career.
It has to be career, Sean. There's no way he pitched 6 times.
Either way, it's not good numbers.
Did you look to see if like all that ERA came from just one game where he maybe gave up 10 runs or something?
He has an ERA over 8. I think.
Well, I mean, he could have had one game where he gave up 10 runs, and all the other ones he didn't give up any.
Then his ERA wouldn't be over 8 in those 6 starts.
Well, how do you know?
That is
because you have 6 starts, and let's say you have a one game where you lasted 2/3 of an inning, but you gave up 8 runs. That's going to give you an ERA around 8 over the course of 6 games.
Yeah, but it's not like that. But either way,
can you say that for sure? Let's pin him down. Can you say that?
No,
for sure?
I cannot say that.
Can you say that for sure,
I
Sean?
cannot say that for sure. But the Astros win tonight. Rodriguez is not trustworthy, and Astros do pretty good against lefties anyway, and they do good against Rodriguez, so we're good.
But they're not the same team on the road, Sean. They're a much different squad on the road. You know why? Because they don't wear long sleeve shirts with buzzers in them.
Hey, both of these teams have history.
Did you see that was a big thing here in Chicago? That the team that they pointed out that at home in a dome they were wearing long sleeve shirts, but here in Chicago they were not wearing long sleeve shirts.
Yeah.
Because the buzzers are in the sleeves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sure they're not doing any of that right now. They were under a big time microscope with that. So
you think?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Edwin Rodriguez, real quick. Let's look at his career stats. I got him up here. Splits. And let's see. He's got splits. Come on, the computer's not working as fast as I'd like for it to work today, which is always the case with my computer. It's terrible. So splits, career. He's pitched against Houston. Let's see. Come on, slowpoke computer. I hate this. If anybody out there has any sense of how to make my computer speed up, I certainly would appreciate an email, gtsrich@gmail.com. So let's see. Of course. So he's got in career against Houston. He's pitched, so he's 1-3. He's pitched 6 times with the 8.53 ERA. You're right about that. But let's look at something else real quick. And well, I would say quite a bit of that was accomplished in Boston, Sean, because he's 1-1 in 2 games started at Houston, where he gave up 7 runs so 7 of the runs he's given up to Houston happened in Houston, and he's given up a total of looks like 24 runs to the Astros. So most of them in Boston.
Yeah. So
there you go. Take Houston. They're an absolute lock.
I didn't say that.
Anything else, Sean, before we get up and out of here?
No, that's it today.
We've put everybody to sleep with that boring view of Rodriguez's pitching life. All right, that's it. If you like what you saw today, and if we win anything tonight, like I said, fade the hockey. It's from my picks. It's an absolute guaranteed lock that those other teams will win, because I haven't hit anything on hockey. But if you like what we do, just go ahead and give us a follow on YouTube. Subscribe. That's probably the right term. Like us on Facebook. If you like what you saw, give us thumbs up. That moves us up the rankings. Follow us on Twitter. Tell your friends about us, Sean. And as always, we hope to see all of your picks be winners, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely fantastic. All righty, everybody. Have a great night. And hopefully we see the Buffalo Bills win by 6. Sean's 5-team, 5-in-game parlay come to pass. Sean, my boy, Derrick Henry running for 96 yards, and me finally winning a hockey game or 2. See you in 23-3, and all that comes true.